morning. Welcome to the 11:11 gathering. This is Frank in Williamsburg. We're continuing our journey through the book, Faith Without Religion. There it is. If you don't have one of these, you can get one on Amazon. This is not about selling books. It's just that it's easy to follow along because there's a lot of weight in some of this stuff that you might need to go back and go over it a few times. Not a book person. There is a digital version that's available. It's basically for free. You can get that as well. Or if all else fails, you can rewind the video and just stop it and then pray about a particular section and see what effect it's going to have for you. So today we have reached entry number 108, which is called The Great Awakening. Now, I am aware that there's a whole movement out at the moment about the Great Awakening. So please understand that this was written more than a decade ago. So it's not necessarily the same subject matter, although we may, not surprisingly, find some crossovers because there's always been a prophetic element to some of these teachings. So let's get into it. This is, we're going to do part 1 today and finish it tomorrow. See how man seeks after the glorification of man. The more ardently they seek to glorify each other, the further they are from me, says God. They're glorious in their own eyes. They keep their own books and records of greatness, and they give awards and prizes to esteem each other. For what purpose? How does such behavior permit any obedience to my instructions? Where is the righteous fruitfulness of such an existence? What will such people present to me at the judgment seat? All of the awards and rewards that have been bestowed on this earth will burn up in a second in the fire. In the blink of an eye, they will become just a puff of smoke, gone and forgotten. And what will remain after that? Only the works completed out of the fullness of an obedient heart, the unselfish exploits carried out in my name for the good of others. There are many finger pointers among you, says God. Those that, although they do not share in the stage and the spotlight, they share the same vain iniquities in their hearts, whom in a second would put on the fine garments of fame and fortune and marry themselves to the deception of riches and worldly adoration. There are no rewards for finger pointing and condemnation, especially when one's own heart carries affection for the things condemned. This is the worst kind of double-mindedness. Learn to place your confidence only in me. The source of all your increase is in your faith. There can be no increase without faith, and greater faith can create greater increase. Look at what's happening around you. Reality television is now the biggest form of entertainment available. What kind of reality does this portray? A reality of lost, confused people looking for their brief moment of fame, looking to win the recognition of the world. They have become the epitome of the blind leading the blind. Look how people so willingly displace their integrity to have the opportunity for a moment of glory. There are so many mockers who would cease their mocking and then willingly grab any hand offering to pull them up to the same place. How many of you would say, I'll only participate if you allow me to glorify my Savior with my words? I will only participate if I can give him all of the glory for every success. I will only participate if I can say, look what God has done. They will tell you that it's not possible because they do not want to make the program too religious. See how religion separates people from the truth of my love? see how the power of the media can alienate people from the truth. Wow. We'll make that part 1 and we'll continue with that tomorrow. But just meditate on that picture in your quiet time today, any moment that you get. Because what you're looking at with the emergence of things like reality TV is the diametric opposite of reality. It's not real. It's completely fake. And we seem to be descending even further into a fake world. As I mentioned at the beginning, this was written a number of years ago. And since then, that particular picture has deteriorated almost beyond recognition, where all of these so-called reality shows now show you a picture that is so far detached from reality, it's not funny. And now, in addition to that, we have the emergence of the metaverse, where people are finding that they can exist in a world that doesn't even exist. Now, you have the metaverse over here on one side. If you have no idea what that is, probably you're not missing anything. But if you're curious, you may want to just know a little about it, because we can then understand what a threat it poses to what we as believers are called to do on the earth. Now, on the other hand, there now is the emergence of AI. That's what you keep hearing about, AI. What does that stand for? Artificial intelligence. If you think about it, it sounds like a bit of an oxymoron. Artificial intelligence. The reality is that the systems behind this are highly intelligent and highly dangerous, because that, combined with the metaverse and the fake reality, and you put them together, they are already literally demonstrating their ability to make people believe things that are completely untrue, but to the extent that the people have no perception of how deep this deception actually is. I saw a lady who received a telephone call from her daughter, and her daughter was in serious trouble. She could tell by her voice, she said, the way the distress, the intonation in the voice among the sobs and cries that only a mother would know, which culminated in the mother having to take a large sum of money to get her daughter out of this situation. What's so unusual about that, you may ask? We've heard of stories like that. They happen every day. This is what people do when they extort money from others. But here's the thing. It wasn't her daughter. They had used an AI program to simulate her daughter's voice, which was so accurate that even her own mother couldn't tell that it wasn't her. All she knew was from the sound of the voice that she had to go help her daughter, and was duped out of thousands of dollars of her savings. You know, the word says that my sheep know my voice. You have to know the voice of the Lord, and the only way you're going to know it, and know it for sure, is to spend time in his word, stirring up his spirit that's inside you, because the connection between those two, the word and the spirit, is irrefutable, and you will never have any doubt. But if you stray away from feeding on the word and stirring up the spirit, and the fallen nature that's in you starts to grab hold of this AI stuff and these fake worlds, you're going to have a challenge, maybe a bigger one than you can overcome. So this is the time where we as believers really deserve to support each other and just make sure that we keep coming back to the right focus, which is to keep our eyes on the Mashiach, the Messiah, for whom we anxiously wait for his return. In the meantime, there's going to be a lot happening. So tomorrow we'll continue on the second part of this about the Great Awakening, and we'll see how it concludes. Have a blessed day. See you again tomorrow.